Welcome to the Morning Nerdy News. This is episode 72. I'm your host, Brandon, aka The Gray Falcon. We're gonna have lots of interesting news in here, everything from updates on Cyberpunk, information on availability of the new consoles, as well as a little bit of tech news. But we're gonna go ahead and start off with a little bit of support for my wife and Geeky Gifts. So if you check out right down below, you can see the link there, facebook.com Geeky Gifts by Amber. You can get a link to her Etsy shop, be able to go through and get a price set up for her if you want something custom. Otherwise, you can look through, find something that she already has on the shelves or available to pick up. She does really cool, awesome, unique individual things. We've got like this squid hat that's available here. So just go over there, check out all the different things that she does, face masks, scarves, clothing. I guarantee you are going to love what you see over there, and tell your friends about it. Pick up something nice and warm and unique for this winter. All right, we'll go ahead and get into it now. And first up, we have PS5 and Xbox Series X bundles sold out at GameStop after restock. Apparently, most of what got put up on here, though, were primarily like the big bundles, the things that you had to go in there and you had to buy like extra games, extra controllers, so stuff you may not have wanted, but it did get you the system. And if you wanted it, sure, it might be of value to you to go ahead and purchase all that stuff at once. But they did manage to sell out of all of it, so obviously people wanted it. Now, as of this time, the only place I know of that you can get either of these, and it would only be the Xbox Series X, is if you head over to Walmart. Right now, they do have available for the payment plan. So if you are interested in this system and you're fine with doing the payment plan that gets you Game Pass at $35 a month, and this is only on the Series X. The Series S currently not listed as available for the monthly payment plan at $25. So you head over there and you can pick up your console. They'll have it sent to you, and then you'll do the 24-month payment plan on it. Overall, it's a good deal if you are looking at it from a full price standpoint. Unfortunately, you can get Game Pass Ultimate for less. You just have to look for those sales, pick it up at the proper time. So overall, this isn't a great deal if you're a bargain hunter, but if you're someone who's very much all about just you want to have it, you want to forget about it, you don't want to think about doing bargain hunting or anything like that, and you'd like to have it now, this is a great way of going about it without having to pay the full upfront costs on it. And over on PlayStation side, we have information about PS5 Ghost of Tsushima sequel in the works at Sucker Punch. Cinematic video creative director confirms. So originally this information came out and had said for PlayStation, then it went to like PlayStation 5. So we have received confirmation that we are getting another one of these. Sucker Punch has done a lot of fun and interesting games, but my personal opinion is that Ghost of Tsushima is by far their best one. I enjoyed the Infamous games. They were a ton of fun to play, but they didn't have the cinematic quality. They didn't have that gorgeous world that was created like it was in Ghost of Tsushima. So if you haven't picked that one up, it is available. You can probably get it on sale now for anywhere between $20 to $30 if you look for a deal. I would recommend going out and picking that one up and playing through it. It now has the multiplayer set up. So all kinds of interesting things that you can do in this game, and really one of the best parts for so many people is just the photo mode. And if you're not a photo mode person, you probably get in this game and discover, well, for this one I am. So go check that out if you haven't checked that out yet, and get yourself ready for when this comes out, probably in I'm gonna say 2 to 3 years is when we're looking at for the next one of this, but still we'll have plenty to hold us all over in the meantime till this arrives. And then over in other gaming news, we have an update from Nielsen's company Superdata. And according to their information, even with all the problems that occurred with Cyberpunk, over on PC, it still finished as the #1 game sold. Over on consoles, it finished third, and mobile, of course, it's not there. But it's interesting to see how big of a difference there is on these two things. But between third on console and #1 on PC, this makes it the best-selling game for the month of December. Even with all the issues, people were still buying it up, still playing it, not doing as many returns as expected. And what I think is also interesting on this list is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, #1 on console, but it's not even on the top 10 list for PC. And these are digital sales, but PC is pretty much only digital sales. So to see that Call of Duty is not even on this list, that I find very interesting. Now, it didn't come out in December. It was a November release game, but still, it's just surprising to see that it's not sitting in the top 10 on both of these, given how big of a history this game has. Now, maybe most people who are going to buy it already did so in November on PC, and then December rolled around and it just wasn't worth looking at anymore. But when you see things like League of Legends, World of Warcraft on here still, Dungeon Fire, Crossfire, Fortnite, Roblox, I mean, these are games that most people should already have, so why are they just getting new purchase setups? Maybe it's only the actual purchases. Maybe it includes all of the individual little purchases, so that I could believe. If you're going out and buying V-Bucks and things like that, maybe that's what got them up on here. However, I still am surprised that Call of Duty isn't anywhere on that PC list. So something to keep an eye out, that this might be a more of a push where Call of Duty is becoming more of just a console type game, and PC is more on the wayside for whether or not people want to play it and pick it up. All right, and then we move over to the first big Cyberpunk 2077 patch has arrived. So if you have been playing this, been worried about problems, and stopped playing it because you're worried about the save file getting too big and so many of these other problems, the first patch is out, and it addresses the memory usage issues and crashes that have plagued a lot of the game. We don't know if this will introduce new problems or if this clears the way for a lot of stuff. We do know that there is another one coming for an update, so I'm sure anything that wasn't addressed in this one will be addressed in that one, but it seems like it is going to be significantly safer to come in and actually play the game, especially if you are on an older system such as Xbox or PS4. But you're looking at 6 to 9 gig update on Steam, about a 1 gigabyte update via GOG, and a 16 gigabyte update for Xbox and PS4. So if you are on one of those older systems, be prepared to wait a little bit in order to get this updated on those. But those are probably where it needed the most updates. It needed a lot of work in order to just function. So hopefully this helps clear things up. It also received an update for Stadia. So overall, lots of good information coming out of this. Hopefully the news just continues to be good, and we'll see this game end up where it's supposed to be. It seems like they really do want to push for that. It's just a shame that they didn't really, maybe go ahead and delay it again in order to prevent all the bad press. But I do think we are going to eventually end up with an incredible game out of this. And if you held off on buying it because of all the problems, or if you were one of the people that returned it, maybe purchasing it here now or later on after the second big patch comes out, you'll be able to pick it up for a much reduced price, probably closer to $30, because that's kind of where it has been going, and you'll be able to enjoy all of the game without all the problems for a lower cost because of that patience. So nothing but good news on that part. And then we have one piece in tech news, and unfortunately it's not really good news. Tesla accuses an engineer of stealing crucial company software. So I don't know what to think on this. We still have to presume innocent until proven guilty. But in this particular case, they hired someone on in December. They then downloaded a bunch of files onto their personal Dropbox. And this included information for things that they were not supposed to have access to. And they don't know the full extent, but they do know of some of the specific things that he did get his hands on. He claimed that he forgot that those files were there, and when he downloaded them to his Dropbox. Apparently, though, he did try and delete his Dropbox before they could access it when they were coming to get this information. So all of that with a grain of salt on his side, but also a grain of salt on their side. We're going to have to wait and see how this develops to find out how guilty this person is, if at all. But at the moment, it is not looking good for them. But that's it for today. We don't have any magic news. Pretty much everything has been released for the new Kaldheim set. I've covered most of the stuff that I was really interested in, and there's still a few other cards if you go over to their site to check out, and you can look over yourself. I did show off the cards for the new precons for the commander decks if you wanted to go look through those. But there are a lot of videos out there of people who are showing how to upgrade those now, who are probably a lot better at that than I am. So I would recommend that you go out and check out some of those videos on how to actually upgrade those if you are interested in picking those up. As far as the pre-orders go, I did end up canceling my box of Kaldheim. I wanted to enjoy that, but I found out from my local gaming store that the mystery booster box is coming back here in a few weeks. So I opted to put my money into that. And while the new cards and the new things look very interesting in Kaldheim, the reality of it is my friends are already picking up some for us to draft with and have fun with it in that manner. So I didn't have to have that available to do that with my friends because I already have other people that are doing that. And the value that is in the mystery booster boxes are so high that being able to buy it for $100, which is what it's intended to be purchased at, plus tax, so about $110 after tax for all of it, it was a way better investment to go in on those boxes than in the Kaldheim, where I could potentially sell almost everything in the mystery booster box, sell it, buy another one, and buy a Kaldheim box for the price of what I get out of those cards if I wanted to. So the reality is someone who's coming back into the game that has a far better selection of cards to help fill in historical things for Commander than what Kaldheim is going to provide me with the new mechanics in its system. And I'll probably just end up picking up individual cards if I really want to get those cards. But that's going to be it for today, though. Remember, if you haven't already, click the follow button. Check me out over on YouTube and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to get notifications and follow for that, that's the subscribe and bell button over there under Gray Falcon. That has GRAY_Falcon, and the Gray Falcon on Twitter. Until next time, have a good one.